So I just got back from Los Angeles. I was there for 5 days and I was invited to the YouTube Holiday House event, which is for their top YouTube creators that use the YouTube shopping platform. That was me. So I spent 5 days in Los Angeles, and in this video, I'm going to tell you all about the trip, everything that I saw, who I met, what I ate, what I wore, what I did at YouTube, and we are going to get inside of this gigantic swag bag. This is like a 2-story swag bag. They gifted us with so much incredible stuff. I had, like, y'all, it was the trip of a lifetime, and I'm going to tell you who I took with me. So grab a cup of coffee or some tea, sit back. We're going to have a little girl talk, and I'm going to tell you all about my trip to YouTube. So I was invited to the YouTube Holiday House, and I think I said in my newsletter that I've never been invited to anything official before as a content creator. Well, that's not entirely true, because last year I did get invited to the YouTube Holiday House, but the dates overlapped with a vacation that I had planned with my husband, and we had been planning this for months and months, and so I had to decline the invitation. I was literally heartbroken over it. So when they invited me again this year, I was like, heck yeah, I am in. I RSVP'd and there I was. So my daughter helps me do some behind the scenes stuff on my YouTube channel and Instagram and various things. And so I called her up and I said, hey, Brecken, YouTube just invited me to Los Angeles. Do you want to join? And what do you think she said? Of course she said, heck yeah. So I booked our trip and, you know, there we were. So she spent like 6 weeks just researching Los Angeles. Where do we want to stay? What do we want to eat? Where do we want to shop? I'm talking the girl had an itinerary, everything from breakfast, lunch, dinner, to like snack shops, coffee shops, all the best places to go, things to see and do. And I just honestly sat back and let her just handle it, because my mind was so focused on that 1-day event at YouTube at the Google's headquarters, and I was just so excited. So that is all I could wrap my brain around. So she really handled the rest. And we're going to get into all of those details. So I'd never been to Los Angeles before, never even been to California. So if you're like me, never been, or gosh, even if you live in LA, I could probably tell you where we went and you have never even heard of it, because we were talking with Uber drivers and people we were meeting in LA, and they had never heard of some of these restaurants we went to. So regardless, I think this could be an informative video for everybody. So we went down on a Tuesday afternoon. We flew nonstop from Nashville right into LA. It was a cool day. We were flying late in the afternoon with the time change, 2-hour time change. I ended up wanting to be just comfy and cozy, so I wore one of my favorite little travel sets. It was short sleeves, but it had pants. I wore my favorite tennis shoes. It was perfect because I was taking all this luggage, and when I was packing it home for the trip, I have a suitcase in 3 different sizes, like the little carry-on size, a bigger size, and then a big size. So I packed everything in my middle size suitcase because I use packing cubes, which condenses everything down, makes it more organized, and I can always take everything I need in a smaller suitcase. So my daughter shows up to go to the airport, and I said, I don't have a lot of room left in this suitcase, because YouTube, in the information they sent us, said either bring an extra suitcase or make sure that you have ample room in your suitcase to get home all of the stuff that's in that swag bag that we're going to get into later. I just honestly thought it was going to be a couple things. It would be fine. I had no idea it was 2 suitcases full of stuff. Thank goodness I decided to take my stuff out of the suitcase and put it in the bigger suitcase just so I would have a little bit of room. Y'all, that did not even get it. I had to check another suitcase to get home. But got packed, packing cubes, lifesavers, got everything to LA. We landed at like 7:30 p.m., which was 9:30 p.m. my body time. Called an Uber, had no idea we had to take a shuttle bus to get over to the rideshare area to even be picked up by an Uber. So this took, once we landed, a whole nother hour and a half to just get in the stinking Uber. It took us like 45 minutes to get from the airport to our hotel. We decided to stay in West Hollywood. We wanted a cute little hotel. We wanted a boutique hotel. We just wanted something different than your typical Marriott or something. So we stayed at the Short Stories Hotel. And if you're not familiar with this area, it's in kind of like an area called the Grove, but directly across the street from us was the Academy of Motion Pictures, where they have the Academy Awards, where they give out the Oscars. That building was across the street, and it was so cool. And let me just say, I was so wrapped up in being in the moment and seeing what was going on around me and looking at the sights that I just was really bad at taking photos and videos. So I'll show you what I have, and a lot of it is not great, y'all, but at least you get the gist, right? So once we got in our room at Short Stories, it was a little room. We had 2 double beds and a little bathroom area, and that was it. But we were starving. We had not had dinner. We had had nothing. So we just went downstairs. There was a little restaurant that had like small bites. We got some mac and cheese balls and homemade potato chips. I got an iced tea, and we went up to bed. We were too pooped to party. Next morning, 5 a.m. LA time, my eyes just popped open because that was 7 a.m. my time. My daughter likes to sleep in, so she was wearing her bonnet over there in the bed next to me and said, "Do not even speak to me till 7 a.m. So for 2 hours, I basically did nothing. Short Stories Hotel needs to get on their game because they did not serve coffee until 7:30 a.m. I'm up at 5. So I, in the dark, went down to the end of the street. There was a little coffee and donut shop called the Sidecar. Oh, me. The donuts, y'all, they were making them fresh. They had some really unique flavors. So I got my daughter a donut, one for me. I had the strawberry. She had one called like salted buttermilk. Got us coffees, went back to the room. I started getting ready. She got up, and by like 8:30, 9 o'clock, we were out the door, y'all. We had shopping to do. We went to breakfast, first of all, at a place called Yagusta. Not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but it was this really cool, like rustic bakery sandwich shop. They had just people in there like you would not believe. We just went for a pastry and an official coffee. My daughter got a latte. And we started off our morning there. And it is in an area called Abbot Kinney. Again, I had no idea what to expect. My daughter did the planning. This turned out to be my favorite area of the entire trip. Abbot Kinney is this very quaint but bustling kind of shopping district, and it almost reminded me of my little small town downtown. It was older buildings that had been renovated, full of just interesting, super interesting, incredible shops. Some of them were big name stores like Madewell. Others were local shops. I actually bought this sweater at a little shop called Natty. It was amazing. We spent basically our entire day in Abbot Kinney shopping. The weather that day was so strange. So it was cool in the morning. I knew it was going to be cool in the evening, and it was like 72 degrees, maybe 75. But when you were in the sunshine, it was warm. When you were walking and you just stepped into the shade, it got so chilly. So I just wore what I have been telling you all is the perfect tank top. It's regular bra friendly, not big and bulky. I wore some wide leg, high-waisted wide leg jeans that I got at H&M. Love these jeans. A little black belt, some strappy flip-flops because I needed to be comfy, and just a little black clutch, and this was so perfect for the day. So everything that I'm wearing in the video, everything I'm sharing with you, all of the places we ate, what I bought, what I wore, all of those links will be in the description box below. I kind of lined everything out based on every day throughout our trip. So if you see something in the video you're interested in, you can easily find it in that description box. All you have to do is click and shop. And because I was at a YouTube event for YouTube shopping, which is incredible. So instead of using the links in the description box, if I have items linked through YouTube shopping, and everything that I can, I absolutely am, you will see icons popping up in the corner of this video. And when you expand the description box, there will be a shopping bar at the very, very top with all of the icons for everything I'm sharing. You can scroll through those and shop without leaving the video. So that is a really cool feature from YouTube. I love their shopping platform. Also in the description is going to be the name of all the restaurants, every place we ate. So if you're in LA and you want to go to some of these great restaurants, I'll have them listed for you. So while we were shopping, one of the very first things, we went in Madewell. And for those of you that live in bigger cities might be like, Madewell, what's the big deal? Y'all, I live in a small town. I don't ever get to go in Madewell, like almost never. The only time I see a Madewell is if I happen to be in Nashville and then I'm like doing something else and no time to shop. So they had a huge Madewell. And before I even opened the front door, there was the mannequin in the window holding this chocolate brown suede purse. And I said to my daughter, just stop before we even go in. I want this purse. So I went in, it was sitting right there. I grabbed it and carried this purse around my entire time in Madewell. And I ended up buying it. I love chocolate brown, and this is so perfect for winter. The suede, and it was really this gorgeous gold magnet that did it for me. Like, I just think this is the classiest purse. It is not super long, fits right underneath the shoulder, and I wore this almost our entire trip in LA. So pretty. It also came in this gorgeous deep kind of blood red color. I teetered back and forth, like, do I get the red? Do I get the brown? Do I get the red? Do I get the brown? I was asking all the ladies in the shop. Everybody voted, but I knew that I would wear this just as a neutral. I would get so much more use out of the brown, so I went with that. But there is a funny story related to this purse. When we get in the swag bag, you will not believe what I got. It's actually pretty hilarious. Then, because I'm old school, right? I went to high school in the 80s, and I am of the mindset that my belt needs to match my shoes, needs to match my purse. I'm trying to be better with that, but it's ingrained in my brain. So because I bought a chocolate brown suede purse, I got a chocolate brown suede belt. Just has your typical gold buckle. They complement each other nicely. And then I had my eye on a chocolate brown sweater. I know, like, I just am loving chocolate brown this year. It is the it color. I love the color brown regardless, and so this sweater just was screaming my name. So the chocolate brown is not quite solid. There's a little bit of another kind of almost like a reddish color kind of embedded in the chocolate. It's a drop shoulder, kind of a sweatshirt style but sweater material. So pretty. I ended up wearing it to dinner that night. We went to a restaurant called Hatchet Hall, so I threw on the sweater because it was chilly and we actually sat on the patio at dinner. So had the sweater on, carried my purse, wore the belt. I did put on some heels, some gold kind of strappy high heels, wore the same high-waisted, wide-leg denim, and I love gold jewelry with chocolate brown. I just think it looks so classy. So I had on my gold beaded necklace that I wear almost every single day, my gold cuff bracelet, some little mixed stackable gold beads, and I had on some drop earrings from Quince. They're gold hoops, and they have a little bit of a drop diamond on them, but they're kind of small and dainty. I just let the chocolate brown be the star of the show that night. So after Madewell, we went in so many stores. I went in a store called the 12th Tribe. My daughter had heard of this. They do online shopping. It was new to me, but we walked in and we saw the same exact jacket. And funny story, we actually bought the same exact jacket. So it's a little kind of cotton canvas jacket. I loved it in the olive. My daughter got it in kind of like a buck color, just a little stand-up collar, zip. I loved the big pockets here. And it's not crop, but it's not long either. It's meant to be a little bit boxy, but the sleeves were perfect. They would stay pushed up if I wanted them to. There is a drawstring right here on the waist. You can kind of cinch it up, which I ended up doing to make it just a little bit tighter. If you happen to order from 12th Tribe, I'm wearing the extra small because this jacket is really oversized. The small was literally gigantic. Then when we were pretty much shopped out, we walked over to the Venice Canals, which were so cool. Little canals running right through LA with all the little homes on the canals that had their canoes and little boats docked. It was really neat. They had these bridge walkways. You could walk over the canals and just little side streets and beautiful flowers. And one thing I really loved about LA that I did not expect are all of the cactus that are just growing. Here in Kentucky, we have evergreens, bushes. LA has cactus, succulents, gorgeous flowers everywhere. That was something that I loved just about walking around the streets. So we went to a restaurant called Hatchet Hall, and they are known for their cornbread. Well, y'all, I'm from the South. Like, I know cornbread, but their cornbread was a starter, and it's meant to share. So it's just me and my daughter. We order this cornbread, and it comes out. It's about this big, and it is sitting on this beautiful plate with flowers, like all of our dinnerware on our table. All the plates were unique. Everybody had flowers on their plates in this gorgeous table setting. And this Hatchet Hall was a happening place. It was a huge restaurant. Every seat was taken, and we ended up sitting on the patio, but they had heaters out there, so it really was lovely. But here comes this cornbread, and there is a huge dollop of butter sitting on top, and the entire top of this like cornbread cake is covered in honey. So it is like seeping down into the cornbread. I cut a slice. Didn't realize it was jalapeno cornbread. So the cornbread itself had a little bit of spice to it, but then the butter and the honey mellowed it out. It was warm and just kind of like, imagine a cake made of cornbread. So it was like a soft, warm, just very easy to eat cake texture, but you could feel the texture from the cornbread in your mouth. So we ate almost the entire cornbread, and then came our meal. Everything there at Hatchet Hall is meant to be shared. So we shared a Caesar salad, and we got a bowl of loaded baked potato gnocchi. So it was clouds of gnocchi covered in cheese, bits of bacon, and there was a cream sauce on there. So we just basically stuffed our faces. I don't even think we had dessert. If we did, I don't remember what it was because I was no, we ended up eating the rest of the cornbread. That was our dessert. Wanted to get back to the room at a decent time. Decent meaning it was like 8:30 because I just needed to settle down. I wanted to get my clothes steamed for the YouTube event, which was early the next morning, and I just needed to like get in the right headspace. So next morning I get up and it is YouTube day. I got up early, had my coffee, took a shower, got dressed, all the things, and I'd already planned what I was going to wear to the YouTube event. I wore the Dolman link stitch sweater from Quince. It comes right here to the elbow, which was perfect. It wasn't short sleeves, it wasn't long sleeves. I knew that there was a good chance we were going to spend some of the day inside, some of the day outside, and this one turned out to be so perfect. I wore some wide leg jeans from Chico's, the gold sandals that I wore out to dinner the night before. The one new accessory I did add was this gorgeous brown and gold beaded necklace, and I took a suede shopper tote from Quince because in my mind I needed lots of things and I didn't want to have a bag and a purse, so the shopper tote was perfect. I took a tripod, a pen, a notepad, my little makeup case with lipstick. I had my phone in there, a phone charger, my wallet. I had to have identification. I thought if they're going to give me things, this will be perfect. I can pack it all in here. I also put an energy bar in there, some mints, a package of peanut butter and crackers. Like, I just did not know what to expect. When I was waiting on my Uber to pick me up, my daughter and I went out in the courtyard of the hotel and took some pictures and videos. Their courtyard was just beautiful. And then off I went to the Google offices. So it took me about 40 minutes to get there. We had to arrive no later than 9 o'clock, got checked in, and that's when I got my lanyard with my name on it. I felt so official. So everybody had the same lanyard, but at the event there were creators and people who worked for YouTube. So the YouTube people had a red bar at the top, and that told you that they work on the YouTube shopping platform. So it was really cool to be able to talk to the actual YouTube people. They were asking questions. What do you think about this? Should it work like this? These are things that we're going to change and implement, and really getting our feedback, which was very helpful. But we were divided into 4 different groups. I was group 3. So the morning was spent like in workshops and seminars and hearing from YouTube. We all went in this big kind of conference area that had a big screen, and the people that run YouTube talked to us and explained all the things. We got to have our headshot photo made. There were some brands set up in the hallway. Fenty Beauty, Shark was there, New Egg. YouTube had set up, I think it was called like YouTube Experts. You could come up and ask very specific questions to the actual YouTube experts. This is where people stood around and mingled and talked when we were going in and out of these workshops and seminars. So I met so many incredible people. Just, I'm still mind blown. I was like fangirling all over the people that I met. So we go sit down in this big room where all these people are telling us all the YouTube things, and they give us a notepad and a YouTube pen. I'm taking notes, I'm taking videos, pictures of the screen, like all these things that I need to know. We also got to pick out they had a table of YouTube stickers in the hallway, and you could kind of pick out the stickers that you wanted. So I got a gift sticker, different size YouTube stickers, a shopping cart sticker. So much fun. I'm going to have to decide where to put those. And they gave us YouTube and shopping cart keychains. So lots of cute stuff. But after all the seminars and workshops, we broke for lunch, went outside to this gorgeous courtyard where they had, well, they didn't set them up for us. I think they're there permanently. Like all of these tables and umbrellas and just tables and tables of food. I had hummus and pita chips, roasted Brussels sprouts, carrots. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what I had. I had Caesar salad, I believe. I had a chicken breast, a lemon tart, iced tea. Everybody was just sitting around talking, asking questions, just chatting with each other. I sat with a bunch of ladies. I had lunch with Miss Gold Girl, Kelly from Mommy's Makeup and Moscato. Lisa D1D was there. A gal who works at YouTube sat with us. It was just super informative. I met Dana Perez. I love her. I watch her YouTube channel all the time, and it was just really neat to just meet and talk to all the ladies. So then we went back in, and we were broken up into our groups, 4 different groups. So they had filming stations set up where you could film your own content. So there was a living room area, there was a kitchen, there was a wardrobe, there was a vanity dressing area, and in each section they had set out all of the items that were going to be in our huge swag bags. So we kind of got a preview of what was going to be inside, but I didn't, I guess, realize that when I was walking around in these filming stations. I just thought it was like props that they were using for us to be able to film with. So then they had more specialized workshops. So we would just kind of all afternoon rotate and make sure that we got all of the things done. You could go to Fenty Beauty and get your makeup done. You could do color matching. You could have your hair done from the Shark people that were there with their like straightening iron and hair dryers. It was just so much stuff, so much stuff. There was a company there, and I do not know how to pronounce their name, but they had individual cakes for everyone. So there were 4 flavors. I got this cake that looked like a raspberry, like it was shaped and looked like a raspberry, and it was chocolate raspberry. There was chocolate mousse inside. It was incredible, but no way could I eat that whole thing. Couldn't bring it home. It had to be refrigerated, so sadly my other half had to go in the trash. While I was there, I also met Tracy Campoli. I watch her channel. I've told you all about her before. She's the one that got me going on the gua sha and the facial oil. I literally still to this day, when I do my gua sha, turn on her video, set my phone in the bathroom, and I do my routine to her. I just love the way she explains it, and she is absolutely adorable in person. Looks just like she does at her YouTube videos. So I talk to her quite a bit. I actually sat with her during some of the conferences too. I met Jacqueline, who has a luxury beauty channel, Madison Payne, and another gal who does luxury travel. At the end of the day, there was like a networking and cocktails, and I stood there and talked to her about, goodness gracious, what all was in this swag bag, and we enjoyed some hors d'oeuvres together. And then I headed back to the hotel. We had dinner reservations at a place called Met Him at the Bar, or Meet Him at the Bar. It was a pasta place. I was so worn out, and my brain was like, oh my goodness. I got to the hotel. I wasn't there 1 minute, threw my stuff down, got in an Uber, went to dinner, came home, and crashed. I was I was done. Then the next morning we got up bright and early again, and we just had some pastries, coffee, and we were headed to Melrose Place or Melrose Avenue. And I didn't actually love it in this area. The only thing I really liked was the Glossier store. My daughters, both of them, love Glossier. They have for years. They wear all their stuff. I've never been in a Glossier store. Apparently there's very few in the US, like freestanding Glossier stores. My daughter picked out some things. I bought some things for myself, and I bought some things for my daughter who lives in Milwaukee because everybody loves Glossier. So their store was so cool. They had so many things that we all wanted. So this is what I bought. So I got some Glossier plum colored eyeliner. I've been hearing that ladies who have green or hazel eyes look really good in plum eyeliner. And I went to, like, I just wear drugstore eyeliner, L'Oreal. Apparently, there is no drugstore brand that makes a plum eyeliner. I have been looking and looking. So I got some at Glossier and I have it on right now. What do you think? I also got some brown mascara. My daughters both swear by the Glossier mascara and they wear the color brown instead of black so it's not so stark. So I got some for myself. And then I am not somebody that typically wears fragrance, but my daughters go bananas over their fragrance. And I didn't want to buy a big bottle. And they had these little travel bottles that if you bought 2 of them, you were basically going to get the third one just for a couple bucks. So my daughter picked out a scent and I picked out a scent. And let me tell you what, I'm obsessed with this. It is so good. I've been wearing this every day since I got home. I don't know what the scent is. Oh my goodness. I will link the scent and everything that I got in Glossier in the description box below. But the staff there was so sweet. So you place your order and you wait. They go in the back and pack your order and bring it out to you in the, famous Glossier bag. And the guy that was helping us was adorable. So shopping that day was the same kind of like weather situation. I just wore another tank top, some olive colored jeans, a belt. I wore my strappy sandals, had the same black purse, nothing fancy because we were going in and out of stores. It was hot and cold. The weather was just so weird. But after we left Melrose Place, because I just didn't see anything there that I wanted, we went over to the Grove. And the Grove was across the street from where our hotel was, so it was super convenient. And goodness, when we walked in the Grove, I said, whoa, whoa. It is like this gigantic, extravagant shopping center that is outdoors. And for me, being in Kentucky, we don't have outdoor shopping. Everything is inside. So it was super cool. It was like twisty and turny and had these gorgeous streets. And I instantly saw Charlotte Tilbury. I've never been in a stand-alone Charlotte Tilbury store. I only can find her lipsticks at Ulta, and I think they're at Sephora as well. I have Glowing Gin. I wore this to YouTube. The color that I got for my daughter's wedding that I've been wearing all summer is called Rose to Fame. It is a pale pink color. And I've been wanting to get another color, and it is never available when I go to my Ulta. It is called Night Crimson, and it is so pretty. It is like a dark plummy color, very similar to the color of my nails, and it is gorgeous, just gorgeous. And the ladies in Charlotte Tilbury were just so sweet. They had stuff that I never seen before. They were very helpful. They were putting makeup on me. The store was just unbelievable. So of course I had to get 2 more things, right? So I got this bronzer palette, like a highlighter palette. Look at that. Is that not stunning? Put a little right here just to give your face like a little bit of glow, a little something. And then I have been searching high and low for some new eyeshadow. So I got this little mini palette, and this color here is what I have on today. So, so pretty. So of course I got the iconic, just gorgeous raspberry color Charlotte Tilbury bag. I was so happy. And then right across the street, was Zara. So my daughters always want to shop in Zara when we see one, and I normally am a little overwhelmed in there, but this Zara was set up so different than any Zara I'd ever been in. It was a gorgeous store, number one. It was multi-level, and I saw a jacket that I had to have. It's a thin, I don't know what material this is, kind of wool-ish jacket, not lined, and I love this brown kind of tweedy color. Little bands here on the sleeves. It fit me so good. This is the size extra small. I tried on several other things in Zara. Nothing fit. I wanted these jeans. They just didn't fit right. But as we were walking out of the dressing room, I saw these chocolate brown sneakers. Look at those. Had to have them. So thankful that they fit because apparently these are super popular. Sizes were running out, but these fit me like a glove. I cannot wait to wear these sneakers. So we went in more stores. We saw all the things. We did all the things, and we were getting ready to leave, and I saw a Gap. We don't even have a Gap where I live. So we went in because my daughter was looking for just a simple cardigan, and we found one that we both loved, and I ended up buying it in 2 different colors. She bought a different color, and I wore the cardigan over my outfit to dinner that night. So it's just like a t-shirt material, button-up cardigan. I got it in the color gray and in this kind of like burgundy color. But while I was in there, I saw this really pretty brown kind of plaid shirt. It's thin, but it has blues in it. There's some burgundies, but the background is brown. And I just got some new chocolate brown jeans from Chico's, and this will look so good with that. Actually had to take it off the mannequin because it was the last size that they have. It runs super small, so I got this in a size large. Also in the Gap, chocolate brown loafers. Brown suede loafers. Love, like I'm obsessed with these. They had them in black, and in hindsight, I should have gotten them in the black. I'm gonna have to order them, I think. But this got me thinking, I really need some chocolate brown boots. I just need some boots. I tried on some boots in Madewell, didn't have my size. Tried on some more chocolate brown boots in Natty, didn't have my size. Didn't fit totally great. They had a really pointed toe. It was just a little bit dressy. So as soon as we got back to our hotel room, I got on Amazon and looked up chocolate brown suede boots and ordered these. Look at those mamas. So there's a little bit of a square toe here, but still pointy. So this was the look I was going for. They're shorter boots, zip opening, and these are so perfect. So now I feel like all of my bases are covered with chocolate brown. I have the purse, the shoes, the belt, all the things. I am good to go. So we had dinner reservations at the place we were most excited to go. It's called Din Tai Fung. It is a dumpling restaurant, a Thai restaurant, and they are known for their homemade dumplings. And oh my goodness, this dinner did not disappoint. So we had garlic green beans, soup dumplings, fried dumplings or wontons. My daughter ordered some spicy peanut noodles, and I took one bite, and oh no, too spicy for me, but they looked really, really good. But the kicker was dessert. Chocolate, mochi-filled, steamed dumplings. They brought this thing out full of these dumplings, and we each had a little cup of like heavy whipping cream that was whipped till it was a thick cream, and some kind of salted green something on the top. So you took your hot dumpling, you dipped it in the cream, and when you put it in your mouth, it would just pop open with all of this chocolate. It was so good. We could not get over this dessert. Like, we are still, to this day, a week later, talking about that dessert. And the next morning, we had to get up bright and early because we had a flight home. I was worn out. I wore one of my favorite long sleeve travel sets because I just figured it was going to be cold on the plane. I wore some slip-on, easy to wear loafers and had to pack an extra bag. Got to the airport, was able to check this big swag bag that they gave us, and now we're home. So that was my trip to LA. That was my trip to YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for inviting me. And now let's see what's in this swag bag. This is the swag bag. Double-decker, stacked up, full to the hilt swag bag. And honestly, there is so much stuff in here. I'm just not going to get into all of it. I have taken a peek, but I'm going to show you my favorite. So we got this crock tote, which is super cool. And inside the tote, there's clothes. So we got a sweatshirt from the Favorite Daughter clothing brand. And before I got to YouTube, they had sent me a questionnaire. I had to tell them my clothing size, my pants size, my inseam, like all the things. So the swag bag was packed just for me. See, my name is on it right there with all of my sizes and cosmetic favorites and stuff like that. Also in the swag bag is this gorgeous chocolate brown sweater from J. Crew and a pajama set from Skims. When my daughter saw this, she is like, what in the heck? So I got her Skims pajamas last year for Christmas, and she wears them every night. She loves Skims, and she just had told me the other day she wanted a new pair for Christmas. Well, I got a gray pair of Skims PJs. Then I told you all there was a funny story about that brown Madewell purse. Look what was in the swag bag. This gorgeous suede purse that I actually saw in the Madewell store sitting next to the purse that I bought. So it has a magnetic closure. It's a little bit larger of a purse, but I almost bought this purse and it was in the swag bag. And this is one of those hulking bags. It will hold so much stuff and it's on wheels. So I pulled this through the airport and actually checked it, like checked it in the airplane as luggage on the way home. And it is full of stuff. So you all know Revolve Cosmetics and Beauty. They even sell clothing. So Revolve gave us 2 Advent kind of calendar things. 25 days of Revolve Beauty. When you open these little suitcases up, it's an advent calendar of beauty. So literally inside every single box is a new beauty product. And we got another one, 12 days of Revolve Beauty. Same idea, just on a smaller version. So you can go to the Revolve website and buy these for yourself or as gifts. And of course, I have these linked below as well. We got the Shark hairstyling product, which is like viral famous. My daughter actually uses one of these. I got it for her for Christmas last year and they gifted us one, which is super cool. There is a makeup brush set from BK Beauty. I'm so excited about this. And then Fenty Beauty was one of the main sponsors of the event, and Fenty Beauty gifted so much stuff. There's hair products, there's cosmetics, there's skin, there's fragrance. This thing is just packed with Fenty Beauty. And then when I pulled this out of the swag bag, my daughter went crazy. I am not familiar with this. Laneige. She was so excited and tried to steal this from me actually. There is a candle from Quince, and this one I'm excited about. Dr. Idris Major Shade. So I watch her on YouTube. She's a dermatologist in New York City, and she came out with her own line of skincare products. And honestly, I just never know which one to buy, and I was so excited when I saw that in the swag bag. Ole Henriksen. I love Ole Henriksen. I've been wearing their stuff for years. This is the Banana Bright Eye Cream. Very exciting. There's a cosmetic bag from Mark and Graham. Perfect. Little puffy bag. There is a cashmere shirt from Heat Tech, Uniqlo. I saw one of their stores. I was not familiar, but I know it apparently is a very popular brand because it was next to the restaurant where we had the dumplings. Uniqlo. More cosmetics from Innisfree. Lip elixirs from Sashu. Apparently she is one of the original YouTubers. They actually played a video from this lady in one of the workshops and talked about how she used to put eyebrow liner or eyebrow coloring on her lips to make the perfect lip liner color, and the video went viral and she came out with her own line of products. So that was in our swag bag. And y'all, there was so much stuff in here. Michael's Crafts was one of the sponsors of the holiday house, and there were some painting supplies and other things that weighed a ton, and I had no way to get it home, so I had to actually leave some stuff behind, which was sad. But yeah, that was my trip. That was my 5 days in LA to the YouTube holiday house. I had just a ball. My mind is literally still swimming. Like all the information, everything I learned still has not fully sunk in, but I'm getting there. So thanks for inviting me, YouTube. I hope you all enjoyed behind the scenes of the whole thing. See you later.